Ms. Humphries, you are in court to prove that Mr. Moseley fathered your 2-month-old son, Tyler, while he was separated from the mother of his children. Mr. Moseley, you say she's going after the wrong man and that she should be pointing her paternity finger at her ex-boyfriend, Mr. Cook, because he's the baby's father.
Yes, Your Honor.
You say this paternity claim by Ms. Humphries has put your current relationship and your whole family in jeopardy.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Moseley, what is riding on today's results?
Me and Ms. Robinson been together for a minute, had rocky ups and downs in our relationship. If this is our child, then, you know, she gonna leave me, and I don't want her to leave me.
Were you in a sexual relationship with Ms. Humphries?
Yes, I was.
Was it during the window of conception when Tyler was conceived?
No.
It was not, in your estimation?
No, Your Honor.
Is that true, Ms. Humphries?
No, Your Honor, it was. Because at the time when I got conceived, we were sexual. That was like the end of August, beginning of September.
Were you having sex with anyone else during that time?
Yes, Your Honor.
You were. Was that sex also unprotected?
Yes, Your Honor.
It was. So why are you so certain Mr. Moseley is your child's father?
Because like I say, we were sexual when I found out what day I conceived. And that was like the end of August, the beginning of September.
But you also were having sex with the other guy during that time as well. Do you consider him as a potential father as well?
I mean, he could be, but I was more sexual, Mr. Moseley.
You were having more sex with him?
Yeah.
But you do understand it only takes once?
Right.
All right, Mr. Moseley, do the dates add up in your mind as she says she was intimate with you at the end of August, beginning of September? Is that true?
Your Honor, I'm not gonna lie to you. I wasn't even paying attention. I was there for the sex. So I don't know. You know, I just did it.
Okay.
This too much talking for me. This all I'm saying, Your Honor. You see my beautiful kids right here? I'm not saying this young man is ugly, but come on now, come look at the pictures. You know?
I mean, that don't matter.
I got light skin. Y'all see this? I got
it
light
don't
skin.
matter.
Children, so,
You're saying that your children look like you, and you're saying that you don't look anything like Tyler.
No, I don't. I mean, look at my children. They got my same chin. They got the big cheeks like me. Not only that, they was by the same woman, and they still don't look like her. You know?
And that leads you to doubt.
Yes, a lot of doubt.
Okay. And then this has also put your relationship with Ms. Robinson in jeopardy because you've got this baby that's potentially out there that you could have fathered while you all were separated, but
yes.
I'm sure in the separation it wasn't part of the protocol for you to have a child.
No, it wasn't. At the same time, well, all I can say is this. I feel like it's her fault too, Your Honor. She should never broke up with me. She should never broke up with me. If she never broke up with me, I would never did what I did.
Also, it's Ms. Robinson's fault.
Hey.
Ms. Robinson, this is all on you. I'd like to hear from you. So Mr. Moseley says this is all your fault.
No,
This would not be happening if you had not left him, so you can blame yourself.
No, this is his fault. This is his fault, and this is her fault. And my thing is this, he's been doing things with women. This is the pinch of it compared to what I've been going through in the last 7.5 years. She was one, we got into it because she contacted me. Out of all the people that he out of all the people, Your Honor, that he messes with, she contacted me. She left me a message on Facebook. Tell my lying baby daddy, oh, he can see this with your line behind.
Yeah.
So you on my page. I didn't contact you. So
Girl,
you've been saying
yes,
for all this time that this is his child. So me and him are bickering because of this. You brought me into this. I had nothing to do with what y'all had going on.
But you kept involving yourself. Why?
Ladies.
How can she know what I'm saying?
Ladies, let's calm down. Look,
She always got
you do understand why Ms. Robinson is so upset.
I
They have
don't.
2 children together. So you don't think she has a reason to be mad?
No, I don't.
And why?
Because she knew about this.
You felt like
I
she
did
knew?
not.
Yes, you did.
Did not.
I wouldn't be sitting up here saying.
Wait a minute, Ms. Humphries. You
She
said
did.
she knew about your relationship?
Yes, she did. It's on Facebook. She blocked me on Facebook. Like,
She plays both men. That's what she's doing.
okay.
She's
Why you
playing
mad?
She's playing both sides.
Why is this
She telling
your
one man,
business?
she telling one man he's a father, then she's telling him he's a
But I
father.
know who the
And she
dad
just
is.
sent me, Your Honor.
Mr.
She just sent me a week ago on Facebook that James is not the father. Called me
Because
on my
you
name.
keep doing this.
Let me
Stop
see
doing
that, Jerome.
this. Stop trying to be all up in my business.
You put me
Tyler
in there and she
don't
left the
belong
number
to you.
again on that.
This is a post.
Yes.
From
That she
Facebook?
that she posted on
Of
my
course.
page.
Why would I think anything different?
No, that's the only way.
It says, to satisfy your curiosity, he's not my child's father. Please get that through your thick skull. So you basically said in this Facebook post that he's not the child's father, but you're saying you
Only
said that.
because she keep running her mouth.
I
I don't want her in a picture of nothing.
You do admit there's another man.
Uh-huh.
You admit to that.
Yes.
And you slept with him during this window, but you just said you were sleeping with Mr. Moseley more.
Yes.
And it's your testimony that you don't understand why Ms. Robinson is all up in arms.
I don't.
Because she knew about the relationship.
Right.
Was it your understanding that they were on a break as well? They were not together at the time?
Yes.
So in your mind, you were sleeping with an available, single man.
That's it.
So, Ms. Humphries, what is the nature of your relationship with Mr. Moseley now?
We still sexual. We still, like, we friends.
Do you want to watch Paternity Court on TV? Go to paternitycourt.tv to find your local listings. Oh, you still having
already.
sex with
Why you
Mr.
mad?
Moseley now?
Yes.
But Mr. Moseley, I can see by the look on your face that she's telling the truth.
She telling the truth.
So you still have sex with Miss Humphries?
I have, yeah.
And still going to continue to once this is done.
Yes.
See? Yes. Drama.
No, it's the truth.
And you say that without any reservation. Yes, I am. But you stand here saying your family's on the line. You don't
Listen.
want Miss Robinson to leave you.
Listen.
But you saying you having sex with Miss Humphries.
Listen. Your Honor, I love Tamika, all right? Okay? I'm not in love with her, but I do love her. Okay? I used to be in love with her, but like I kind of drifted off. You know what I'm saying? You know, I never had a father in my life to actually teach me certain things. And I know I shouldn't put this in the picture. You know, my mother taught me characteristics of a man. She never taught me how to be a man. You feel me?
But you making babies and then you denying and you don't want to take care of the ones you have. That's the thing. Take care of the ones you have. You going back and forth.
So I'm
Right,
confusing you
we
now?
got
No,
you
I'm
in
definitely
here.
confused. Definitely confused. In a big, huge state of mind of confusion. And I'm tired.
So ultimately, you say you love Miss Robinson, but you're not in love with Miss Robinson, but you want your family with her. You want her to stay with you.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. Because, I mean, things change. I never know. I might change, but you can't fault me. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can fault me for the way that I am. You know what I'm saying?
No, let me say something, because I find this very interesting. Because I have heard, as I have counseled, represented families, men, women, as a family attorney, I hear so often, you know, men, they don't talk. He just doesn't talk.
No.
He won't talk. He won't say. He's talking now, but y'all not listening. He's telling you exactly how he feels and how he's gonna operate.
Don't get me wrong. I feel bad, but at the same time...
Look, of course you feel bad. Mr. Moseley, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that you are a little bit lost and a lot conflicted. We get that. And then the problem is, these women actually sleep with you. They keep sleeping with you. She knows you sleeping with her, and she knows you sleeping with her, and they both know you probably sleeping with somebody else. All right, Jerome, I'd like to talk to Mr. Cook. Can you please escort him in?
Look here.
Mr. Cook, thank you for joining us today. So do you believe you are Tyler's biological father?
To tell you the truth, I do not know. I mean, I would love to be his father, but them two, they perfect for each other, because they both liars.
Yes.
They both liars.
Yes.
They perfect for each other.
I'm a liar and I
They
came
both
for
are
both
liars.
of y'all. I
They
told both of
especially
y'all
him.
from the beginning.
liar.
He a liar too.
He's so
Man, I ain't a liar, though. I'm real, bro. I ain't a liar. I tell the
listen.
truth too much.
The day I went to take the DNA test, I see him and he told me him and Shanita haven't been having sex in months. But I just heard y'all say y'all having sex. So how could, what is this?
Where's that?
When
You all have not had sex again at all.
No, ma'am.
Ooh, Lord, Jerome, check that plate. Because you know sometimes people think it says Boo Boo the Fool, but it doesn't.
Exactly.
It says Lauren
So what
Lake.
you want us to lie or something?
Let me tell you something. You all know you all lying. Both of you can't even keep a straight face. It's so obvious.
If they ain't having sex, why she calling them baby daddy on Facebook?
Man.
Y'all liars.
Yes.
Y'all perfect for
Baby
each other.
daddy, baby mama, I love
Baby
you.
daddy,
Baby daddy, I love you. Baby mama.
That sound like both of y'all.
Okay.
Like both of y'all.
What is
some
that?
spies, man.
Let's get
That's your
some
baby,
order.
bro.
Let's get some order. Mr. Cook, have you been in the child's life?
Yes,
You have.
yes.
What have you done for Tyler?
I bought Tyler stuff for his baby shower. I was there when Tyler was born.
You were?
Yes.
At the hospital?
Yeah, but he wasn't there. He wasn't at the baby shower neither. When Miss Humphries told me she was conceived, which was September 1st, we eliminated Mr. Moseley from even being a candidate for being Tyler's father.
So in your mind, he was ruled out?
Yes.
And it was between you and who?
I don't
Anonymous.
know. I don't know.
Did she tell you you were definitely this child's father?
Still to this day,
Just
she
like
still would
just
tell
do
me
him.
that
She
I'm
just
this
said that
child's
again today.
father.
It was James.
But
Now,
my
now
thing
it
is,
definitely is.
I don't know.
So wait, Miss Humphries, are you telling him that he's the child's father? And you're telling Mr. Moseley he's the child's father?
Wow.
But I'm the only one that's doing
She's
something
not
for the
lying
child.
now. She's telling the truth.
I'm the only one doing something for the child. I
So,
I
Mr.
keep
Humphries,
Tyler
why
more
are
than
you?
her.
Why is that your approach?
Because I was having unprotected sex with Mr. Cook and I was having unprotected sex with Mr. Moseley.
But you didn't tell either man that the other one was a possibility.
I did.
You did?
Uh-huh.
Well, he says you said Mr. Moseley was not a possibility.
That's after the fact I ruled out.
But I'm smarter than that, Your Honor, because I found video on her phone of them having sex at the end of August. So I don't.
It don't matter. I'm not with neither one of them. I can do what I
I'm
want.
not saying
That's your
that you
problem.
can't.
You keep
I
getting yourself in
can.
trouble.
But
Ain't no trouble. I don't get no whooping at the end of the day,
It don't
okay?
matter. You getting a
I
whooping
don't.
by
I do
knowing
not.
Your child's father.
I don't.
That's the whooping.
You getting your feelings hurt. That's what it is.
For real.
Getting
They
involved.
perfect for each other.
They are. I
They
know
are.
they hurt.
They
I
are.
know.
And
I know they
if it
hurt,
was somebody
girl.
that you cared about, your feelings would
I
be
care
hurt
about
too.
that one up
But he
there.
ain't got no other babies coming into the world
You
right
don't
now.
know that.
You all talking about this whole thing like it's a game. I mean, it really is shameful.
I know what it feels like to have a father. And I know what it feels like to not have a father. I just lost my father a year ago. You know, she wasn't there for me through none of this process. Instead, she was satisfying Mr. Moseley.
Yep. And he satisfied
The whole
her
year.
while I'm going through stuff.
The whole year.
So while you're grieving the loss of your father, you're saying Miss Humphries wasn't there to support you, but you're there to support
All the
her
time.
and Tyler.
All the time. With every bone in my body. I just had Tyler the weekend before we got here, y'all.
Because I had to threaten you.
You don't even know if I'm his daddy for real.
It don't.
You just sat here and told this man that he's the daddy.
Yes.
And now you gonna put all the responsibility on me?
Yes.
What you mean?
Because
I
you're
come
trying to
out of
make
my
it seem
pocket,
like
spend
you
my
just-
money for you and
don't,
Tyler.
Because I threatened
What you mean?
Everything you did, Nate, I had to threaten
No,
you to
you
do
didn't.
it.
No, you
If
didn't.
James
Yes.
Day, though, why you
No,
on his
no.
head?
All right,
Because I
all
don't
right,
know.
all right.
Did you hear that from the beginning?
All right. At the end of the day, it is painfully clear that Miss Humphries, you have two men that think they're the father of this child potentially, two men that were there around the time the child was born. We just need the results.
But I don't see it, John.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics and they read as follows. Ms. Robinson, I know this is a lot for you. If you need to sit down, it's up to you. I know out of everyone here, this matters a lot to you.
Yes.
In the case of Humphries versus Moseley, when it comes to 2-month-old Tyler Humphries, pertaining to whether his biological father is Mr. Moseley or Mr. Cook, it has been determined by this court. It has been determined by this court. His biological father is Mr. Cook.
Good.
Congratulations, Mr. Cook.
Thank you. I thank you.
Mr. Kidd, you say Ms. Rawlings is a manipulative user who convinced you that you were the father of her son, Nathaniel, then changed her mind when someone better came along. You and your mother say Ms. Rawlings' mind games have wreaked emotional havoc on your family, and you are 100% positive you are her son's father. Ms. Rawlings, you say Mr. Kidd is fully aware he is not Nathaniel's father, as he himself told you he cannot have children. You say Mr. Rawlings and his mother are two desperate people who convinced themselves Mr. Kidd is your son's father, and you intend to prove them wrong today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Kidd, why are you so convinced you are Nathaniel's father?
Well, Your Honor, when this first started off, she came to me and told me that he was mine. She was sending me letters when I was gone.
And so you were away when she found out she was pregnant?
I was away about a month after. I went away a month after she found out she was pregnant.
Okay. And did you tell him it was his child, Ms. Rawlings?
No, Your Honor. How it happened was we met through a mutual friend, and I didn't know anything about Mr. Kidd starting off. My mutual friend ended up leaving, and the situation that I was in, I didn't have anywhere to go. And that's how me and Mr. Kidd ended up having relations, because I was staying with him. But as, everything progressed and everything started off, somehow another female came into the picture, and I went off and did my own thing and was dealing with him and another gentleman also around the time that I conceived my child. So
what was your relationship with this man like?
we were in a serious relationship, and I was actually at some point, once I left from being around Mr. Kidd, that I was actually staying with him.
So how often were you with Mr. Kidd, and how often were you with the other guy?
Pretty much going back and forth, because I was staying with him and I was leaving from being with Mr. Kidd to going with him and coming back to Mr. Kidd.
Did you tell him, Ms. Rawlings, that he was Nathaniel's biological father?
No, ma'am.
You never told him that?
No, ma'am.
You just told him you were pregnant, and then somehow he assumed he was the father?
When I found out I was pregnant, Mr. Kidd told me himself that he had some type of rare form blood disease and that me and his child would die if I was pregnant by him.
Oh, he had a rare blood disease.
No.
And if he got you pregnant, the baby would not be able to be carried full term?
Your Honor, it's not a rare blood disease. I am AORH negative, and he is ARH negative. If she's RH positive and doesn't get the necessity shot during the pregnancy, it could prevent her from having future children, or that child could pass away.
Okay, so Mr. Kidd, did you ever tell Ms. Rawlings you didn't believe you could have children?
Yes, ma'am. I informed her of the situation because I'm typically in a long-term relationship. I've never had any kind of hiccups, any thinking that they might be pregnant, any slip-ups, no.
You've
nothing.
never gotten anyone pregnant?
No, ma'am.
And Ms. Jenkins, when did you find out about the baby?
It was approximately the mid of August of 2016.
And at that time, were you aware that your son was in a relationship with Ms. Rawlings?
No.
We've never been in a relationship.
So it wasn't just a sexual relationship?
No, ma'am. We were just, she just needed somewhere to stay. So I was just looking out for her, and it just became a sexual encounter.
It was an encounter?
No, ma'am.
More than one, but,
So that's what we call a sexual relationship.
Yes, ma'am.
It's a form of a relationship where you have sex, but you have no commitment.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, Ms. Jenkins, how do you find out about the baby?
I got a phone call from my daughter, and she said, "Mom, you need to look at this picture." Sent me a picture of the baby. I was like, who got my son's baby pictures? She said, "That's not your son." I said, "Yes, that is. I gave birth to him. I know who he is." She said, "That's his son." And I was like, "What?" hold on, no, why am I just now hearing about this? So I contacted his friend who gave me Miss Rawlings' number. I called her and asked, we talked for a couple weeks, and I asked if I could see the baby, and she said yes. We were at a park. He was in a car or a stroller, and I said hey to her. I said, but you know what I'm here for, and I went straight to the baby. Picked him up, had said, hey, Sugarfoot, and he smiled, and we played, and it was honestly the best day of my life. I'm holding my grandson. I know it's mine. And I have pictures
I'd like to see those.
of both my babies.
And when you look at these pictures, what do you see?
My son.
Your son on the left, and that's Nathaniel on the right. And you really believe, as you look at those pictures, that's your grandson.
Yeah.
And as we take a look at the second picture, it's Mr. Kidd as a teen and Nathaniel.
Oh, he has my lips.
And you think they look exactly alike, minus your lips, those are your lips.
He's got my lips.
Okay, so you look exactly alike. Miss Rawlings, you began to let Ms. Jenkins have visitation with the baby.
Me being me as a mother, and I wasn't able to grow up with my father. If Mr. Kidd can't see the moments that he's missing, at least his mom will be able to have them, and his family has some stories to tell.
Yes.
Just in case.
And I completely understand that. And it's truly a beautiful sentiment. But as you stand here at the defendant podium, you say you know Mr. Kidd is not your child's biological father.
Yes, ma'am.
It's a manipulation tactic.
It was, as long as you were giving her what she wanted and needed at the time, it was okay. I've never one time been told I wasn't the grandmother. She did not ever say that she doubted full-heartedly that Kevin was the father. She said it's a possibility between this one guy and my son. And as I sent her pictures, she's like, yes, I believe it's Kevin's. It's Kevin's. It's gotta be.
Miss Rawlings, did the other guy, the other potential father, did he ever acknowledge that he could be the father or express interest in being in Nathaniel's life?
Yes, he did, because he was the one that actually told me to get a test to see if I was pregnant. And me and him were sick together. And he actually reached back out to me because he had some other situations going on, looking at pictures, and he questioned it again. He was like, are you sure the other guy is your child's father? Because he looks like me. And going through pictures, Dad, even his brothers said, yeah, he has our nose. He looks like us.
So the other guy thinks
Nathaniel
looks like him too?
Yes, and he favors his daughter.
And where is the other guy now?
He's in another state, but he
So
still
he's in
reaches
another
out.
state.
Yes, he still reaches out and check on him.
Okay, does he have a relationship with Nathaniel? Does he see him ever?
The other guy actually came to the hospital after I gave birth to Nathaniel, and they instantly, you seen it in his face and in Nathaniel's face, his face lit up. And even his brother was there and was like, yeah, man, that's your son.
The other guy?
Yes, because he
Did he sign the birth certificate?
No, because I didn't have my ID with me at the time.
So there's no one listed as father on Nathaniel's birth certificate?
No, Your Honor.
I had him for a period of time. You took him back. We went through that phase, and now we're back at the point where you're sending me pictures every day again, video chats every day, we speak every day, we text every day.
Miss Jenkins, you said you had the baby for a while. What do you mean by that?
She was going through a situation and got kicked out of where she lived because her choice of men are not just the greatest, I guess, in the world. He wasn't safe, she wasn't safe. She was trying to get her life together. She gave me the baby for a period of time with a handwritten...
How long?
I had him for a month and a couple days. And I got a handwritten letter of custody.
Let me see that, Jerome.
No, it wasn't.
You said it was a handwritten letter of custody.
Temporary custody.
Because of the fact that I had got a job that was paying $10 an hour, and I didn't have anybody to watch him. And at the same time, trying to figure out who's going to watch my child, and me not knowing how I'm going to be able to feed my child, how he's going to take his bath. I chose it to where that since she was there, that my child
at that specific time, you did not have a job yet. You had already lost a job 2 days before that. You gave
Let me read this letter. This You wrote, I, Taneva Rawlings, the parent of Nathaniel Rawlings, I give Tammy Jenkins temporary physical custody of my son.
Because of the fact that once I told my stepmom, I came to the decision where when I lost the job because I didn't have a babysitter, and I wanted that job, so in order for me to be able to get on my feet, because I was also planning to go back to school and get everything situated, so I couldn't set up somebody to watch my child. So
I
was just trying to
understand.
work that out.
Listen, Miss Rawlings, I can see you are a young woman. I can see you're a young girl. I understand that you got yourself in a situation, you were in a situation where you didn't know who your child's father was, and you were trying to do, I sincerely believe, what was best for your child. You basically, in that moment, trying to get your child to a safe place.
Yes.
All right. And so, Mr. Kidd, you presented evidence to the court in your paperwork that suggested you had another medical issue which would prevent you from impregnating Ms. Rawlings. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, the court wanted to get down to the bottom of this particular situation because we were very concerned about this information and wanted to be accurate in our assessment of it. So we've called upon one of our experts, Dr. Jamila Gator. Jerome, will you please escort Dr. Gator into the courtroom? Yes. I'd like to ask her a couple questions.
Hey, doctor. Gonna have you go up to the witness stand. Watch your step.
Hi, Dr. Gator.
Hi.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We are here discussing the paternity of baby Nathaniel, and we have spoken with Mr. Kidd about a medical issue. What is your assessment of this particular medical situation?
So I think there's two separate issues here. There was an issue about Rh blood incompatibility.
Yes.
And that has to do with a mother and a baby. And if there's different blood types between the father of the baby, positive and negative. But that really doesn't have anything to do with the ability to father a child.
Okay.
He had a separate issue, which was a childhood infection. And so there are various childhood infections, from mumps to repeated urinary tract infections to STIs like gonorrhea and chlamydia. Those can cause inflammation in the testicles, which then causes scarring and makes it difficult for you to emit sperm. So if the infection is appropriately treated, then the fertility rates are normal. So
you're saying that this condition he basically dealt with as a child, that does not necessarily preclude him from being able to father a child after this condition has passed, or?
Correct, after the infection has been treated, correct. Only a small percentage of males will go on to have infertility from those childhood infections.
A small percentage.
Correct.
So, Ms. Rawlings, after you've heard the testimony of the doctor, does that change your mind in terms of your belief? Because when you came in, you don't really think he's the biological father.
No, ma'am.
And Ms. Jenkins and Mr. Kidd, if Nathaniel is proven not to be your biological child, grandchild, do you still want to maintain a relationship with him?
I mean, honestly, I'm gonna be devastated, you know, because, you know, that's supposed to be my first child, and it's a boy, you know what I'm saying? I'll be around, you know, I'll help out as much as I can, but I couldn't take care of him as if he was my child.
All right, I think I've heard enough. I'm ready for the results. Jerome? Yeah. Thank you. You're welcome. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Kidd versus Rawlings, when it comes to 10-month-old Nathaniel Rawlings, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Kidd, you are the father. You are the father.
Thank you.
And at least, even the fact that he said that he would have stood up, that was what I was still going for, period. The fact that that is his son, I am happy because me and him, we don't have a hate type relationship, and that I knew he's a good man at heart and he has a good heart. And knowing that me and him could be on some type of page, that my child will have his biological mother and father.
Go hug her.
And he has a family, something that I really didn't have.
Hey, you do now. You got a big family now. Come here, my baby.